GamingBolt presents 15 things you need to know before you buy Yakuza Kiwami 2. The Yakuza series has seen a significant surge in popularity following the last year or so, a period of time in which we've played not one, not two, but three great Yakuza titles. Well, a fourth one is on its way as well. Yakuza Kiwami 2, the remake of the PS2 title Yakuza 2, and part of Sega's efforts to recreate and bring to current audiences all of the older Yakuza games, is almost upon us, and we're understandably excited about it. In this feature, we're going to take a look at 15 vital pieces of information that you need to know about the game before it launches on the PS4 at the end of August. Dragon Engine. With Yakuza 6: The Song of Life, Sega made the transition to the newer, shinier Dragon Engine, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 makes use of the new engine as well. Being their first title with the new engine, there were obviously some kinks that fans of the series noticed, but it was mostly a resounding success, and there's no doubt that it's going to get better as the development team becomes more and more acclimated to its workings, which hopefully will be the case in Kiwami 2 as well. Improved physics and visuals. Of course, one of the major benefits of any new engine should logically be significantly improved visuals and technical performance, and that is certainly the case with the Dragon Engine. Yakuza Kiwami 2 looks great, just as Yakuza 6 did, and everything from the lighting to the character models are looking much more detailed. Meanwhile, physics, which are obviously a major part of any Yakuza game, and the combat, are also improved, carrying on what Yakuza 6 started doing. Interiors. Powered by the new engine, Yakuza 6 allows players to move across the game's world more seamlessly, and that's going to continue in Yakuza Kiwami 2. There are no loading times while moving from the world to interiors, for instance, which is obviously a huge bonus. This also means that fights can seamlessly transition from exteriors to interiors, just as they did in the Song of Life. Combat. And of course, we have to talk about combat. Yakuza games have always been known for their flashy, over-the-top combat, and thanks to the Dragon Engine, it only improved in Yakuza 6. Those improvements are going to be present in Yakuza Kiwami 2 as well. We've already spoken about how the fights can transition from exteriors to interiors seamlessly, but in general, better physics are also going to be a huge bonus, as Kiryu and all other characters react to the environment and their surroundings more organically. Weapons. Fists and feet aren't the only things we use in combat while playing Yakuza games. Other than using what we can find in the environment, we can also make use of several weapons, and the weapons in Kiwami 2 look appropriately glorious and insane. From the mundane kind like breakable knives to the unbelievable variety of weapons such as electrified swords. Depending on which weapon you're using, your heat actions of course will also change. Clan Creator. The Clan Creator was a pretty major new addition in Yakuza 6, and a lot of people really liked it, so it's good news that it's going to be making a return in Yakuza Kiwami 2 as well. It will function mostly the way that it did in Yakuza 6, so don't expect any major overhauls or anything like that. What's new is the addition of several new personalities, including New Japan Pro Wrestling stars Riki Choshu, Tatsumi Fujinami, Keiji Muto, Masahiro Chono, and Genichiro Tenryu. New story elements. Yakuza Kiwami 2 isn't just going to be a straight-up one-to-one remake of the original Yakuza 2. Sega is remaking the game from the ground up, and they're also going to take the opportunity to alter the game's story somewhat. Of course, there are not going to be any major changes that significantly alter the narrative, but Sega have said that they're going to add new story elements that will not only tie the game with the rest of the series more closely, but will also resolve some of the previous confusing plot points. The Truth of Goro Majima. Of course, the headline addition in Yakuza Kiwami 2 for many fans is going to be the addition of a completely new section of the story, which is a major new, never-before-seen addition. The new scenario, called The Truth of Goro Majima, will feature the fan-favorite series anti-hero as the playable character, and will focus on his story and its progression and depict how he came to leave the Tojo clan and form Majima Construction. MAKOTO MAKIMURA returns. And of course, if you're going to have a completely new story scenario for Goro Majima in a post-Yakuza 0 world, you need to have MAKOTO MAKIMURA in it. MAKOTO was introduced as a major character in Majima's story in Yakuza 0, and she will once again be making an appearance in Yakuza Kiwami 2. Though she was not in the original PS2 title, obviously having only been introduced as a character in Yakuza 0, she will be a part of the Truth of Goro Majima scenario. Recast characters. Here's another example of some pretty notable changes that the upcoming remake is making from the original release. Several characters from the original Yakuza 2 have also been recast for their appearance in Yakuza Kiwami 2. Ryo Takashima is now portrayed by the actor Hakuryu. Wataru Kurahashi is played by Huka Kinoshita. And Jiro Kaori is now portrayed by Susumu Terajima. Returning minigames. Minigames and side activities are a core fundamental pillar of any Yakuza experience, maybe even as much as the combat or the story are. Fans of the series will know just how easy it is to get distracted from the main story and find yourself completely immersed in Japanese street life, and things are going to be no different in Kiwami 2. Minigames such as golf, batting cages, karaoke, bowling are all going to be in the game, in addition to the clan creator, which we already discussed. Virtua Fighter and Cyber Troopers. Arcades are, of course, another staple of the Yakuza series, and perhaps the most popular minigames in the entire series. Yakuza Kiwami 2 will have arcades as well, and in true Yakuza fashion, give you full unrestricted access to complete arcade classics, featuring full arcade versions of Virtua Fighter 2 and Virtual On are both going to be included in the game. Critical reception in Japan. Yakuza Kiwami 2 is launching in the West on August 28th, but Japanese audiences have had the game for quite some time. It launched in Japan in December of 2017, so we actually know quite a lot about how people have been reacting to this game. Unsurprisingly, critical reception for Yakuza Kiwami 2 in Japan have been quite positive. Famitsu gave the game a score of 37 out of 40, highlighting the improvements made to the combat thanks to the Dragon Engine as one of the game's biggest strengths. Commercial performance in Japan. Though the game has been received well by Japanese critics and audiences, its commercial performance was a bit of a blip for the series. It debuted with over 130,000 units sold, and while viewed in isolation, those are very strong numbers, but this was actually the lowest debut for a Yakuza game ever. Of course, that doesn't mean that the game hasn't been a commercial success. It would be hard for a Yakuza game to be anything but in Japan, but it has been less so than its predecessors. Pre-order bonus. The pre-order bonuses for Yakuza Kiwami 2 actually sound pretty sweet. For starters, those who pre-order the game will receive a Yakuza Kiwami 2 Dragons theme for their systems, while a special pack will also be included with the purchase. The special pack will include 1 million in-game yen, the comedian suit outfit, and the Demon Fire blade. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.